Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be installing this Mishimoto cold air intake for the Accord 2.0T 2018 through 2021. This is what the air box looks like. Carbon fiber lid. Uses the factory snorkel, which is down here. Little opening for some extra air and sound, which is really nice. I'm going to show you what to do, how to install it, and we'll get a few sound clips. So let's get started. So first things first, you're going to want to remove these 4 tabs or push pins using a pry tool, something like this. Just pop them out like so. I'm going to do the process for all of them, and then I'll show you the next step of the video. So once you've taken out all 4 of the pins, all you're going to do is grab this piece like so and just pull out. Just like that. Put it off to the side for now because you're going to be reinstalling this piece to the new intake. Next, you're going to want to disconnect the mass airflow sensor. So all you're going to do is just push in right here like so and just pull down. Make sure your ignition is off first and foremost, because then you don't want to cause damage to the sensor. So you're going to pull that out. So now you're just going to open the 2 tabs on the airbox like so. That way you could just pull it off. And then you're going to remove the housing right here by removing these clamps. Now in this case, I'm probably just going to remove this one because I don't believe it'll be necessary to take that one off. So I'll just save a step. And you just got to pull this off like so and pull your airbox out. And then there's a retaining clip. I'll show you. You're going to have to pinch it. So I'll bring the camera around. So now here's the retaining clip in the back I was talking about right there. So you're just going to have to squeeze it and just push it in. Now the box will come fully out, like so. And you're going to have to remove the mass airflow sensor and move it onto the new intake. So to remove these clamps, you could either use a Phillips head, or I like to use a socket. This is a 7/32 socket. I just find it easier to use sockets than a Phillips, but that's all you need to remove these. So next, you're going to have to remove these 2 10mm bolts here and here, and then pull your filter out. So now you have to pull the base of the intake up and out from over here. Like so. Box is fully out. And this is what you're left with. So now we're going to transfer our mass airflow sensor. All you need is a Phillips head screwdriver just to pull it out. On the new piece, it's an aluminum piece and it uses an Allen key, so you won't be using these screws. Just make sure you save the screws, put them back into the box when you go, just in case you decide to go back to stock for whatever reason. I'll grab that. Here's your sensor. Always remember the orientation. The arrow is going to be going that way. Airflow goes that way. I was just taking it out upside down. So the arrow is going to get going that direction into the new piece. Just got to remove those bolts, and it's going to sit in just like that. So now the sensor's transferred over into the new housing. It's going to go in like this. It could only go in this one way. Even if you twist it, it will not bolt onto this. So this is how it's going to sit. Also, if you can put just a little bit of silicone spray around the edge, that way the gasket seats because it wouldn't get pushed in. And just make sure, you dry everything up. You don't want to get oil in there. So this pushed right in, worked out great. So this is all ready to go and get installed. I also wanted to add, just in case anyone wanted to know, these Allen keys, they are a 2.5mm Allen key. So that's the size for that. Okay, so next step, you have to remove these grommets and put them onto the aftermarket intake. So all you're going to do is pop your screw out and you're going to pull from under here. Let me move this out of the way so I don't scratch it. You're going to remove from under here. You're going to pull this down and out like so. That way you can pull the rubber out, and then you're going to be able to wiggle the rubber out of there just by twisting and pinching. It should come out just like that. The process is the same. To reinstall, you're going to be putting it into here like so. By pushing it in, you're going to feed this back up into there. Now you won't be able to pull it out, and then you'll be able to bolt it back in just like that. I'm going to do this process for the other side over here, and we'll go forward from there. So next step, we're going to put this cap that they give you on the intake resonator over here. So all you're going to do is just basically just put it on. That's it. That simple. So now that that's done, the air box is going to have to go in. Okay, so it's time to install the air box. First things first, you're going to remove the lid using the same Allen key, 2.5mm. Once I pull this off, this is what's going to sit on the factory peg inside. There's like a little notch right next to that resonator that I just showed you. It's right here. It sits right onto this peg right there. So that's where that hole lines up to. So I'm going to pull that lid off and install it, and I'll show you what it looks like. So now I want to note, when you're pulling these off, there's a little black gasket. When you pull those off of that air box, make sure not to lose those, because that helps make the seal on the top of that carbon fiber lid. So do not lose these. Remember, when you're pulling them off, be very careful to keep those in place. So remember the orientation of this. So that peg over there, this is going to line right up. Goes right down into there. All the holes line up. And that's how the air box is going to sit. Then you're going to put your 2 screws in. Bolt it down. I'm going to leave it loose for now until everything is all lined up. That way I don't have any alignment issues. So now it's time to install the filter. This is what it looks like. So now we're going to install the mass airflow sensor section to the filter. So now this is more or less what it's supposed to look like. Once everything's tightened up, you can still move it a little bit. This is supposed to be facing somewhat downward. That way when you actually go to plug it in, there's no tension on the wiring. So, and that's also the factory position, slightly down. So that's what it looks like. Now I got to put the silicone coupler in. And that's almost it for the installation. So now we're going to install the the silicone coupler. I'm just going to add a little bit of silicone spray on each end. That way it slides in better, because otherwise you'll be battling these things and they'll be almost impossible to get on. So just a basic silicone spray, don't go crazy, just get the edge just so you get a little lubrication so it slides in. And get the clamps the direction you want. If you put them this way, you're going to have a hard time if you put it in, otherwise you'll have to lower it all the way that way. So I'm going to be putting my clamps on this way. That way it's easy access, and I'll just put them in from the top like that. That way you don't really see them, but you can get to them. Okay, so after trying to play around with it a little bit, I found that pulling the bolts out of here, that way this has a lot more play, works really well. So you're going to be putting this side on first, like so. And now that you can wiggle this a little more, you can just push the coupler in from the bottom and get it to go over this other area over here. And then it'll feed right in. Then you can line everything up like so. And the little bit of silicone spray I put on here allows you to wiggle everything a little bit. That way you get a nice fit and you could work easier. You're not sitting here wrestling with it. And then you put your clamps how you want them. I'll be putting them here. And just making sure everything is lined up. Mishimoto, supposed to be facing upward like so. And that's pretty much how it's going to look. Let me tighten it up and we'll button this up. Alright, everything's in. Going to put the lid on and plug the sensor in. So make sure you get your little washers, little black washers that are on there. Place the lid on top. Gotta be careful I don't lose those. Let me grab a magnet. Don't want to lose that. Okay, yeah, so put these in one at a time. I almost lost them. Thank God I had a magnet. Alright. You don't want to drop these, then you're going to be screwed. Alright. Tighten them up. I'm going to get my Allen key. Plug your mass airflow sensor in. Like so. So now snug these, don't go crazy on them. It's unnecessary, you don't want to crack anything, break anything. Just snug them. And that's it, guys. Intake's installed. Let's do a quick start. See how it sounds. I almost forgot. Have to install the factory snorkel. Make sure you transfer this rubber piece from the factory system back onto this, because it gets stuck on the other side. That way you could meet the new box. Now all I have to do is put the clips in. Now we'll start it. So there you have it, guys. That's the Mishimoto air intake for the 2018 Accord 2.0. Will work for the following years as well, up until 21. I'll do some driving videos and impression videos after I get a little more time in. Right now I'm just going to do the installation video for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.